Good morning. Hello. We're doing another just before work quick mini book review. I read A Taste of Gold and Iron, and I'm disappointed. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Alyssa. I'm back for another book review, another really chaotic and rambly book review. This time we're going to talk about A Taste of Gold and Iron by Alexandra Rowland. And this book did not slap. This book actually made me sad how much I didn't like it. Especially after reading other people's reviews about how much they did like it. I feel like I missed something somewhere. I'm not sure if I spoil anything. I'm filming this a little bit at the end because I can't remember. I didn't remember to do it in the beginning because I'm chaotic this morning. Every morning I'm chaotic. I'm just going to put a disclaimer up front here. I may have spoiled something. I know I talked about one major plot point that I may have spoiled for something else. So if you really don't want to be spoiled for anything, I guess don't watch this. But if you don't care, continue on. Anyway, let's roll into whatever the heck I was rambling on about for the last few minutes about this book. I'm going to finish my coffee and get to work. I'm going to quickly talk about this new fantasy that came out recently called The Taste of Gold and Iron by Alexandra Rowland. This was kindly sent to me by Tor. I was super excited about it. If you see me looking over to the side, I'm just pulling up some general notes and guides for me because I want to do this really fast. I have a few minutes to film here before work. We are caffeinating. We are talking about this book. So if you've been around for a while, if you know me, if you follow me anywhere, you know that I love fantasy. I particularly love queer fantasy. I love Tor. I love everything that this book should have been. And I feel like this is a really unpopular opinion, but I absolutely was disappointed in this story, and it hurts. One of the things that is hard for me as a book reviewer is when I get sent a book from from a publisher and I don't like it. I feel bad about disliking it. If I just pick it up and I buy it from the store, I don't feel as bad about disliking it because I don't know, I just feel like there isn't that extra layer of relationship with the title that there is when the publisher sends it to you for a review. But the point of being a book reviewer is to give honest book reviews. So this is my honest book review of A Taste of Iron and Gold. I'm sorry, A Taste of Gold and Iron. I teased a little bit about this in like a short and in on Instagram that there's a book that I just really didn't like, and this is the book. So, A Taste of Iron and Gold is a standalone, sort of slow burn, queer romance, political fantasy story, like political sort of tension, mystery, fantasy story that is well written. I will say this. We'll go through some pros. It's really well written. I think that the relationships in here are very healthy, and I like seeing that representation in romance. I'm just gonna put this down. I like seeing that representation in romance. It's something that I have been noticing more in certain books, and I really do enjoy that. I enjoy the diversity of this world, especially when you talk about like genders and sexualities in this world. It's really nice. The world is sort of based on an Ottoman Empire like world, but it's a world where you have a queen that runs a kingdom. I don't think she's a queen. I think they call her something else. But like essentially, you have like a queen that runs a kingdom, a queen that has a man who is like the father, but has no other rights to the child. So there is no patriarchy where as soon as a man sires an heir, like that, he is like the bee's knees and he has all the power. Love that. I'm here for that. I think that that is fantastic. I thought that like the political mystery and intrigue throughout the book was interesting to a point, and we'll get into that in the cons. But in general, this had a lot of things up front that I should have liked. I liked the slower burn romance idea. I like the queer romance idea. I like the potential for like our main character dealing with a mental illness, like it looks like, or issues. It looks like he's supposed to have incredibly bad anxiety in the beginning of this story. He's dealing with essentially crippling anxiety that his one friend and like close guard is the only one who knows that he goes through this, and then slowly other people know that he goes through it. But like here we'll get into the cons. This is the first thing that really bothered me was that this idea of anxiety was presented up front, and I feel like it never really carried through the book. So, like, yes, the characters grew, but as somebody who has anxiety that can be crippling, it is weird to me that without any like actual discussions of like how to heal the anxiety, Kato, who's our main character, just kind of almost like grows out of it. And that really irritated me because, like, that's not how, in my experience, and I'm not a monolith, but in my experience, that's not how crippling anxiety goes. Like, if you have triggers, like, they're kind of always there, and you have to learn how to not be triggered by them or how to control your reaction to the triggers. And like, I just felt like they brought up this idea, the author brought up this idea and sort of abandoned it in the middle. And because he's supposed to be like a, do they even describe him as this? They may have. Cadeau the Shy Prince. And like, I don't know if he's really shy. Cause like he seems to have a lot of, I don't know, it kind of bugs me when authors try to describe or make a character start as this like very like shy, meek, damaged, whatever character, and then they're really not any of those things. They're just kind of, I don't know. They really aren't. Then they sort of, you in like couple chapters, suddenly they're like the really shy prince is like going out and solving mysteries and like taking on badasses and like fighting. And like, was he ever really shy, or was he just not? Was he just introverted? Was he just an introverted person and that was it? Like, he's not shy. He's not like meek. He's not any of those things. It feels like he just kind of, he doesn't really want to be a prince. Like, he's just kind of like a regular dude. Does that make him shy? I don't know. So, like, that irritated me, and I don't know if I can fully articulate it, but, like, it irritated me. There's a piece there that irritated me, and I would love to know what you guys think, because I feel like this has gotten good reviews from the people who have read it, and I'm the only one who seems to not really like it. That's what it feels like. So if anybody else has read it, please let me know. The other piece that really, really, truly bothered me, the other big con for me, was I just didn't feel any chemistry between Kato and Evermere, who's his like bodyguard. So this is essentially like a bodyguard person they're guarding slow burn romance. And like I just felt like even though I'm in both characters' heads and I can hear them both talking about how much they like the other one, I didn't find any chemistry between them. And for some reason it felt very forced. And I don't know why it didn't work for me, but it's working for other people, but it didn't work for me. I didn't feel it. I read somebody else's review where they say that they really like it because though it's slow burn, what really they felt like it was really like a book that wasn't like slow burn where you felt like, oh come on now, like we know everybody likes you. It's not that kind of slow burn tension slow burn. It's like a slow burn where it takes a while for everybody to kind of grow up and like each other, which maybe that's the case. But then I think about it, like they almost had me with that one. I was like, oh, well, maybe I've been thinking about this wrong. But then I thought about it and I'm like, no, still, even then, I just don't feel the chemistry. Even when you get to the end, I don't feel the chemistry. I feel like there's like a forced proximity sort of like trope in here where like they have to get married and it's like a fake marriage and that's all part of the plot. And of course, there's this whole idea that they're going to get divorced at some time. And they keep talking about how they're going to annul this marriage when they're also talking in their own headspaces about how much they really kind of like the other person. And it just felt very off, like the tension, like it felt like there should have been more tension between them. And like, I don't know, it didn't work for me. It just didn't work for me. So I don't know. I feel like we go through cycles in publishing where they publish a lot of books like in a short period that are sort of very similar in terms of the things that they're trying to do because this is the thing that's kind of popular. So when I read this, I was expecting to have similar feels at the end of the day as I did when I finished Strange and Stubborn Endurance, where I was like absolutely in love with this world and my main characters, and they went on this great journey and arc, and I really loved watching them grow and I was super happy, and I literally didn't feel any of those things, none of them, and I was incredibly disappointed by it. And I would have DNF'd it, but I was like, well, maybe I'm gonna like it, maybe I'm gonna like this if I keep going. And the thing is, I never did. I never really liked it. So when I read other people's reviews and they were like, "Oh my God, I couldn't put this down. I was mad that I had to stop and go to work and not read it or whatever." I'm like, "Why? How?" Like I was forcing myself to continue through this story. And I know that not every book is for everybody else. So like if you liked it, I'm very happy for you to like it. I think that that's great. Everybody should have things that they like. But I'm just not seeing it, and I wish someone could explain to me like what piece am I missing? Did I latch on to the anxiety piece and I was not supposed to latch onto it? I also feel like the political mystery wasn't that intriguing. Like it was kind of obvious throughout the entire story what was going on and who the problems were. And it just felt like it was so close to being good, like in a couple in a couple more drafts, working on the plot and the story. It might have been better. This is my humble opinion, because the writing is fine. Like, this isn't one of those books that's come out recently where I feel like they really needed to go through the drafting process a little bit longer to get the writing better. The writing is fine. It's just the story, the thing that I care about, I didn't care about. And I don't know if because this is supposed to be character driven and not plot driven, but, like, I like character driven books, and I like plot driven books. I like books. So, this book was just so, so hard for me, and I didn't like, and I'm sorry, Tor. I always feel bad when people send me books and I don't like them, but I didn't like this book. If you've read it, I would love to hear your thoughts. And we can discuss in the comments down below. You can DM me on Instagram. I would love to discuss this with you. If you feel like I did and you were disappointed by this and you haven't read A Strange and Stubborn Endurance, please read A Strange and Stubborn Endurance. I really think that that was phenomenal. So please do that. And yeah, I'm going to get ready for work. I think I have Oh, no, I'm 1 minute over my time, so we are going to be quiet and wrap this up. So if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I know these are really chaotic, and I hope you enjoy being in my like chaotic brain for a minute while I'm talking about books. But I'm gonna go to work. So I'll see you guys in my next video, whatever it may be, because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Bye.
So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't